Hello my sweet honey bunnies and welcome to My Mandarin Ducky. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a dragon journal, and this is the first part of this tutorial. For this journal I will need a lot of tools and materials, as well as some metallic settings, glass beads, dragon eyes and stuff like that. You will find a full list of materials in description below. So here are the metallic supplies I will be using and the dragon eyes I pre-made before. Check this video to see how to make the eyes. And this is my old Sculpey texture mat, which has the same size as my future journal cover. It's a 6 size. As for the clay, I will be using my favorite living doll clay by Sculpey in color brown and some colorful Premo Clays. I will now condition some of the brown clay to prepare the base for the journal first, then we will sort out the colors later. Obviously you can see that I'm conditioning my clay by hands, and then I'm rolling it through a pasta machine on levels from 0 to 2 many times until I get the decent size. When that is done, I will need to place this clay sheet properly so there is no large air bubbles. Now we can place the template on top of the clay and cut around it with a knife tool or a blade to create the cover in a perfect size. Let's even out the edges to make sure we are starting with a rectangle. Okay, so here are the color options I have selected. It's Peacock Pearl, Zinc Yellow Hue, Ultramarine Blue, Bright Green Pearl, Wasabi, Green and Black. I don't know why I am working in such mixed up order, but okay, I will now select some colors for the main dragon body mix and then I will put it aside as we will be working on the base texture. So to create a wood texture, I will be using these funny tools which I got introduced to by Donna Greenberg, and they are just great. I made them myself from clay and pins. You should make a couple of these too. Use the wider ones for the textures and the rounded ones for the deeper cracks and lines, as real wood texture is quite uneven. You can use a picture reference to imitate the grain of the wood. This is what we ended up with, and you can see at this angle that the texture is quite rich and organic. So now we will come back to the green pre-mixed color we had before, and this will be our clay for the dragon. I decided to start with the head, and therefore I took a little bit of clay and made an egg-shaped figure. To make a face look more like a beak, you need to pinch the nose part a little bit like so. Now is the time for the body. As you can see, first I roll the clay into a sausage, and then I start to pull and roll the neck and the tail out of the main clay piece. When you are ready, you can attach the body to the head. Use some tools like a ball tool or a rubber shaper to join the head and the body together. Okay, so now I am creating a spine and defining the dimensionality. I use both of my fingers to press along the spine and create the sharp edge through the whole back and tail area. You can throw the tail in any way you think it would look good. Some more finishing touches to the body, as we need to get the basic shapes right. Now it's the time to place the eyes on the head. Therefore I'm using a ball tool to create an indentation for the eye, and I'm placing the eye in. Let's move on to the eyelids. Grab a little bit of clay and roll it through the pasta machine on level 5. It needs to be really thin. We will also need to draw an outline for the dragon's beak. Use something like a needle tool to do that, and don't forget the nostrils. It is really important to have a rubber shapers like the one I'm using here now. They are just perfect for everything. As the basic shape is now done, apart from the legs, let's play a bit with the decoration of the head. I decided to make some horns and other features. Next, we should play a bit with dragon skin and give it some texture. Use the ball tool. Here I was making a leg, but I forgot to move the camera and so you can't see the leg being made. Ugh, that's ridiculous, but that's okay because it's really easy anyway. So I placed the leg on the metallic blade, as it is easier to sculpt it this way. And again I'm using a rubber shaper to attach the leg to the body and make a smooth transition. Let's increase the sharpness of the spine again and move on to the front leg. So, to make a leg, you basically make a clay sausage, shape it in the right way, and do the same what I did with the back leg. The other back leg is not really seen at this angle, but most likely we would see the back of it probably. So make a drop shape and stick it to the body. Now let's move on to the tree bark again. Comparing to the volume of the dragon, the wood texture looks quite flat, so we need to fix that. Therefore, I'm taking the brown clay again and rolling it through the pasta machine and ripping it apart to create uneven bits and layers. After that, we will use these funny tools again and keep texturizing. I love this clay brand as this particular doll making clay is so flexible and soft, and it follows all the movements and spreads like butter if you want it to. It's just so cool. So now it's time for the moss. For the moss I will use few greens I pre-mixed before. Just mix some yellows and greens and navy greens together, maybe brown. Get some inspiration from real moss pictures. This will take a while, and if you don't want to bother spending an hour making moss, perhaps some leaves or mushrooms could do as well. Right, here I prepared a Skinner blend from greens and yellows for the wings. I will draw a little wing outline to get an idea of what I'm aiming for, and I will start cutting out my feathers one by one and placing them onto the surface where they belong. And then apply a feather texture by using the knife tool. You can watch this tutorial to see how the feather texture is being made. The last few feathers are going over the dragon's back to make an appearance as if they are actually growing from behind the shoulders. This was the first part of the tutorial, which was all about building the basic shapes, and the second part will be about decorating and finishing touches like dragon skin, artifacts, more moss and mushrooms and other effects. This link will become clickable in few days. Or it's clickable already, check it out, you never know. Thank you so much for watching this video, please subscribe. Bye!